National Stock Exchange of India has been actively involved with initiatives to educate the young generation of our country on the importance of financial management. One such initiative is NSE FinWiz that focuses on educating and advising the young workforce of the country on wealth management to enhance financial literacy and to empower
Insurance is for protection and investment is for growth.
Another program facilitated by NSE IPFT is NSE Financial Quest. This inter-school financial quiz contest goes an extra mile by educating the young students on fundamentals of finance.
On the buzzer, what is this?
It's the formula for the simple interest.
Simple interest is the right answer.
Under the NSE Financial Quest Base Camps banner, the program engages students around the year through workshops on various topics, projects, interactive videos and quizzes.
DiCaprio is bouncing checks of Pan Am.
Plus 75 on that. Plus 75.
To facilitate these two programs, NSE along with CNBC TV18 has travelled across the country to bridge the wide knowledge gap in terms of finance. In this episode of NSE FinWiz, we are all set to achieve our objectives once again by gauging young professionals in a new city.
Hello and welcome to Season 4 of NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV18 and I'm your host Nitya Balakrishnan. Today my team and I are in the city of idlis, dosas and piping hot filter coffee inside the campuses of the country's second largest commercial vehicle manufacturer, a brand that symbolizes the undying spirit of Chennai, Ashok Leyland.
Ashok Leyland is an Indian automobile manufacturing company headquartered in Chennai. The company is the largest manufacturer of commercial vehicles in India and the fourth largest manufacturer of buses in the world. They also have the largest fleet of logistics vehicles deployed in the Indian Army. NSE FinWiz visited the headquarters of Ashok Leyland in Chennai with the experts to understand the employees' views on financial planning and wealth management with the theme Dreams Come True.
Financial management will help me understand, one is prioritize what my savings are, first is visualize how much my savings are, and ultimately because of, if I have to visualize how much my savings are, how much should my expenses and how much should my expenditures be.
I'm a very straightforward investor. Most of my investments are in real estate and bank FDs.
My investment basically on the medium and long term. I invested on the mutual funds for my children's education as well as I've invested on the retirement fund.
Hello and welcome to Season 4 of NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV18 and I'm your host Nitya Balakrishnan. We're in Chennai and I'm joined by two very special guests on this episode of NSE FinWiz, Kalpesh Ashar and Harsh Rungta. Thank you so much for joining us today, and to everybody here at Ashok Leyland, thanks for taking time off and being part of this evening. My first question to you, Harsh, is when you talk about wealth creation, when you talk about multiplying your money, what do you think are three essential tools for the smart investor?
You need to make sure that whatever is your wealth creation journey, okay, if something happens to you during that journey, you need to make sure that you are adequately provisioned for that. So I think that's number one strategy. The number two strategy is you need to start early. And I think the third thing would be keep your expectations realistic and be patient. There is no known way by which you can make money quickly. It does not exist. Irrespective of advertisements that you might see, irrespective of what your friendly neighborhood person might tell you, there is really no get-rich-quick scheme. So start early, keep your real expectations realistic, be consistent. I think if you do these three things, I think most people will be able to create wealth for themselves.
Absolutely. In fact, Kalpesh, when you talk about saving and investing in India, the traditional norms seem to come first to mind to every average Indian. We talk about, a fixed deposit, you talk about the savings deposit, PPF, but also tell us, other than this and real estate and gold, what are the other, investments that one can actually park funds in on a fairly regular basis?
So adding on to what Harsh mentioned, the three very poignant points, first I would like to add one more important point to that is awareness. And we are all, living in a world where we are so busy with either with our personal lives and more so with our professional lives. And we really have no time to be financially aware, because we don't have a direction to where our earnings are going, nor are we trying to actually enhance them also. And all that boils down to awareness. So that links to what your question, Nitya, is that we have always been brought up on culture of either very conservative investments, that you have your bank FDs to park, or if you want to have surplus money, you can have real estate, or if you want to not take a risk, then you can invest in gold. But now the world has changed, and it's changed rapidly. Equity have formed a very important part of India's growth story. And each one of us is a participant to that growth story. And equity is not a simple game to play. And equity, you need to understand that you are actually being a part of the growth story of a company. Now, if you do not know what that company is doing, then you need to be sitting on the sidelines, but yet be a participant into it. So the answer to that is a mutual fund. Because the mutual fund route will help you participate in equities, although mutual funds are varied. They are into fixed income, real estate, gold. Everywhere, but we are talking about equities as the most important and the most simplest way to get onto the journey of wealth creation, which Harsh was mentioning earlier.
Absolutely. In fact, if I can just get a quick show of hands, how many of us set aside an X amount every month towards regular investment? How much of this is invested in, equity markets via mutual funds or even directly? In fact, when you talk about managing your portfolio, Harsh, what do you think are essential elements? Do you think X amount exposure should be towards the equity markets? Would you recommend a certain part of one's portfolio also has real estate, gold, etc.? Because whether you like it or not, inherent to every Indian is this need or belief of owning your own house.
So I have a slightly different view. I think the house that you stay in is not really an investment. I think most people, when we ask whether they have done real estate investment, they put their hand up because they have invested, they have bought a house in which they stay. The house that you stay in is, at least we don't count it as an investment. Only if you have something else as a real estate, I think that's what counts as an investment. So that is the point about real estate. The other thing that she mentioned was, people frequently want to be the smartest investor around. The first question that people ask me is, okay, which share should I invest in? Which scheme? So since we don't know, which is the best possible scheme? Okay, which mutual fund scheme is the best? I think this quest for the best possible investment makes sure that you will never make money. Study after study shows that money is made not by investing in the best investment. Money is made by deciding how much of your investment goes into what kind of asset class. By asset class we mean what kind of investment. So equities is one kind of investment. Debt like fixed deposits or debt mutual funds is another kind of investments. Real estate, land or a flat that you don't stay in, that's another kind of investment. Gold, I think that could be the four typical investments for most lay people.
Fair enough. Kalpesh, now if I can ask you to throw the spotlight on the equity markets. There is a sense of volatility actually playing spoil sport. How do you think a first-time entrant should go in and invest in the equity markets?
See, one thing is a given that if you wish to enter into equity markets, make volatility your friend. So if volatility is going to be there, then you have to have the stomach to digest it, because it is this volatility over a period of time which will probably be quite nullified, and if time is on your side, then you will reap the returns over that period of time. So first of all, understand that volatility is going to be there. And if you have time on your side, and I'm being very specific on time, do not invest in equities if your time horizon is anything below 3 to 5 years.
On this note, it's time to slip into a quick breather right here on NSE FinWiz, but stay tuned. A whole host of answers on life insurance, medical insurance, and what's the best policy out there for you on the other side. Welcome back. You've tuned into NSE FinWiz, powered by CNBC TV 18. And I'm in conversation with Harsh Rungta and Kalpesh Ashar. Thanks so much for joining us. And a quick note on insurance. When you talk about your pay slip and you talk about that mandatory ATC investment, the first thing that comes to mind is, especially towards the months of February, April, filling out that quick insurance form. Talk to me about insurance. Is it really a means of investment? Kalpesh.
Simply speaking, that to keep two chambers separately, insurance should be for utmost protection at the most reasonable premium. And investments should be for growth. So we never advocate policies which put both of them together. So either an insurance cum investment policy, which probably we are all tuned that on maturity it will give us an X amount of returns back, because all the returns which probably are put together on those type of policies, I'm talking about the traditional life policies, are very, very conservative and very, very, I would say, the least returns you can expect on any type of a product. So don't look at those policies which have an investment element imbibed into them. The ideal way to look at it is to go for a pure term plan. So you could look at the other avenues, what are there for the ATC. And in fact, tax planning needs to be started in April. So you can plan it out in April, May, June and relax for the rest of the year. So you have your fundamentals in place, you protect yourself adequately, invest adequately, that's about it.
Harsh, if I can ask you to jump in here and talk to us really for the benefit of our viewers, the differentiation between a term plan versus something like a money back or an endowment policy.
So an endowment or an insurance is investment, a sort of a fixed deposit mixed with a protection plan with very low return. So very expensive protection, very low return on the fixed deposit. The only people who make good returns on that is the insurance agent, and that's the reason it gets pushed so hard. On insurance, I will just make a very quick way to distinguish between a good insurance product and a bad insurance product. A good insurance product is a product where you hope to God that your premium goes completely waste and that you never get paid a penny, right? If that is the kind of insurance you have, that's a good insurance. So it's slightly counterintuitive, but that is the way you should judge your insurance.
Kalpesh, if I can ask you to actually add to that, a lot of people believe that something is better than nothing at all. And so when you look at that, an endowment or a money back at the end of the day will guarantee you some money comes back. But a term policy where absolutely no return is there. So would you agree in this particular scenario, something is better than nothing?
So I'll give a simple example without getting into the technicalities of it. A day-to-day life example. We have a car insurance. Say for example, the car premium is 10,000 rupees. And your car is valued at whatever 10 lakh or 12 lakh or something like that. Now you pay the premium which is very affordable to you, and that is around 8 to 10,000 rupees. And the premium has been already in action for the last 11 months. And you know in the next month the premium is coming up for renewal. Now because in the 11 months the premium has not been paid, would you go in the last month driving rashly and actually pray that you bang the car, hence you get the premium? You would not do that. So that is the truest form of insurance. The same applies to your health insurance. So the simple answer to this is that don't get lured by the thing, what will I get when at the maturity? You don't have to get, because this is insurance. What you have to ask that question is on equities. After 8 years, after 10 years, you have to ask that question on debt, on fixed income.
Absolutely. In fact, Kalpesh, if I can ask you to address a query raised by S.K. Srivatsan, again, Deputy Manager at the Business Analytics team. How different is private insurance policies compared to the ones offered by my company or companies? Is it good to invest in private insurance in addition to one that is offered by the company at this age? He's about 23 years old again.
See, basically, when you talk about company offering insurance to you, so company many times offers either the life insurance products to you or the health insurance. In either case, one thing needs to be understood is it's limited to the time you're with the company. So you need to have that in perspective. Health insurance is all the more that it should be kept separate from the companies. Because, for example, that you are not with the company and you are in transition mode to another job or a business venture. God forbid, if something were to happen to you during that period or to your family, you are left napping. So keep it separate.
Now, before we slip into a quick break, a quick show of hands. How many of us here hold life or medical insurance apart from what the company offers? Alright, so a step in that direction has been made to actually look at insurance as mandatory protection and not really investment, and that's the word coming in from our financial experts Kalpesh and Harsh. Let's slip into a quick break, but stay tuned. A rapid fire Q&A on the other side. Welcome back to NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV 18 here at Ashok, Leyland, and it's time to throw the floor open to the young professionals here in the city of Chennai. If I can have the microphones to the people who request questions to our financial experts.
Typically, I have 1 year of my expenses in my savings bank account, and that gives me a mere 4% and something lesser post-tax. So what other alternatives do I have? Say probably good debt funds.
Do you have a home loan as well? So here is a quick suggestion. Take what is called an overdraft home loan, and your current home loan, if it is at a higher rate, this loan you will probably get it at a lower rate of around 9.4%, 9.35%. It's an overdraft kind of a loan. Park this money there. So you are saving it at the home loan interest rate, which is, even if you are at the highest tax rate, even then you are saving money at 6%. So that is the risk free, because you are lending money to yourself, you are reducing your borrowing liability, you can withdraw it anytime you want. That is the ideal place to keep your contingency fund. If that is not possible for you, look at a liquid fund. For some of you, I would recommend, if you are in the highest tax brackets, if the taxable income is more than 10 lakhs, look at an arbitrage fund. In an arbitrage fund, the returns are tax free. Look at a dividend reinvestment option. That is another good place to keep your contingency fund.
What my question is that I have missed my insurance for 2 years. Now, should I again do the same insurance, or should I go in for an insurance, see online and choose if it's a better price that is available for the amount that I pay?
You have term insurance, right?
I have a normal term insurance.
So term insurance, here's the thing. Prices have fallen close to 60-70% over the last 3-4 years. You in fact have missed your premiums. Nothing has happened to you. So you saved some money, right? Why would you want to go back and buy a more expensive? I don't think it is viable. Any case, even if it is viable, right, you should anyways look at buying new. You will get it much cheaper than what you would get.
And on that note, we're absolutely timed out on this edition of NSE FinWiz, but it's been an absolute pleasure. We're talking about the inside out of insurance policies and financial literacy 101 with young professionals here at Ashok, Leyland. Kalpesh Ashar and Harsh Rungta, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting. Thanks so much for joining in. And from the entire team here in Chennai, thanks for watching.
We had a lot of questions to ask. There were a lot of misinformation that our people, especially the young generation, have. So they're skeptical about the market as such, about investing in funds as such. So the speakers were very clear. We got a very nice information on how investment should be done, on how medical insurance is actually to be considered, and on how goals are to be considered for what you invest for. So I think it's a very useful and informative session.
This particular event has given me a lot of roads that I can follow for, multiplying my money. So I was looking for a lot of, where to invest and how much amount to invest. So this particular event has given me that, and now I know where I should invest and to realize my future goals.
I think this is a stepping stone to, always, align on the long run. So always dreams keep changing, and this is a good initiative which has helped me, and at least it makes me rethink what I require or what is to be done for the future.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.